Welcome back to the program. This is the last segment of Real Estate Chalk Talk for this week, and we want to just focus our attention a little bit on the neighborhood of the week, and this week it is St. Anthony Village. St. Anthony Village is a small community just to the north of, actually it's between St. Paul and Minneapolis, about 5 miles from downtown Minneapolis and about 8 miles or so from downtown St. Paul. Just a nice little community, first tier suburb, small, about 9,000 people. And it's just one thing of note there is that is where the Happy Potato Chip Company is. Happy Potato Chips. So your Happy's Potato Chips made right up there in St. Anthony. There's only a very few homes on the market in St. Anthony. We had, Fritz has got a couple coming on up in St. Anthony, don't you?
Townhome and a possible single-family home, yeah.
Townhome and a single-family home. And we just, last week on the program, we talked about a manor house that we were bringing on in St. Anthony Village, and we brought it on, talked about it on the program, and got a showing later in the day and sold it. So, I mean, it's a very popular area of town, cute little area. St. Anthony, check it out on the map. Delightful little first-tier suburb. Kelvin, you got some more questions?
Yeah, well, we had a number of things that came up off the show last week that we'll get to, but I just want to ask Fritz real quick. Fritz is out and about with a lot of buyers. And we talked earlier last hour on just the market and the inventory and stuff like that. What are you seeing as you're out and about? Is the inventory an issue as you're out and about, and what have you been up to?
Absolutely. Really hard to find good quality homes. I'm working with a lot of first-time home buyers. I'm going to go spend some time in Otsego looking at new builds. There's just... here again, we're always talking about good quality homes that are priced appropriately, show ready, sell very quickly, multiple offers. So it's that. The other thing that we focus on quite a bit is pre-listing houses, and that's what I'm doing with that house that I mentioned in St. Louis Park. Ironically, I was over there yesterday meeting with one of the point people, and we had a showing the same day. We're a week and a half away from listing the house formally on MLS. And that's how a lot of deals are getting done these days. I hear Keith Jr. talking about it all the time, and it's such a big portion of our business and what we can bring to the table when we're listing a house. And I don't think everyone takes advantage of it. So it's an important piece, especially in this market.
How do they take advantage of it?
Call us today.
Okay, so it's basically getting connected with you so that you can communicate with them those non-MLS opportunities.
Oh, about that specific house?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Call us.
612-627-8000. We'll get you connected with Fritz, and you can check out that property and many others that we have that are non-MLS properties. Probably have I don't even know how many, but we have a lot of them.
I got 5.
A lot. We have dozens of properties, and what they are is it's not like some secret deal. It's people are in the process of getting the house ready for sale, and it might a lot of times it takes a month for someone to get packed up, get grandma off to the home, get the closets cleared out, get new carpet in, get it painted, get the plumber out there to update the bathroom or put a new sink in or something like that. It just all takes time, and we don't want to waste the spring season or waste time that we could be marketing the property and reaching out to people who maybe it's a good fit. So if you're interested in any area of town, literally any area of town, and you're frustrated, you can't find something, call us at 612-627-8000 because we could very well have a property where we're in preliminary discussions with somebody and they've decided to move forward, but they're not ready to market it to the general public, that maybe we can get you in there and you get a shot at it before anyone else sees it.
Well, it's one of the reasons why you work with a larger group, so you have more access to people.
Right,
and
just
properties.
the sheer volume of homes that we move through in a year gives you an advantage, not to mention the experience that comes with negotiating the best price and terms.
But there's a lot of other agents. I just bumped into a friend of mine who was working with, I think, a family friend or someone that he had worked with before. They were looking for a house. I think the other agent got frustrated at the fact that he hadn't picked a house, that low-lying fruit that he had shown them, and he got frustrated. They're no longer working together. I set up an MLS for him yesterday. We're going to go out and look at houses here within the next couple days. that's what it takes. You can't just pick that low-lying fruit. That stuff is gone. Now it's actually, you got to dig in and know how to find those other opportunities. And a lot of people don't know how to do it.
What do you think will happen with home prices this spring as you guys are seeing low inventory? Is it going to push to multiple offers all the time? Is it going to push home prices? We talked earlier how home prices were selling for a little bit more than asked, all that. So
I'm going to go back at you with another question, Kelvin, right after that. The answer to your question is simply yes. The home prices are going to, supply and demand. When you've got multiple buyers seeking a single property, the price is going up because they're going to bid it up. When we bring it on the market, we know that there's going to be fast demand for that, so we're going to push it to the limits that we feel that we can justify because we're probably going to get it. Now I'm going to ask you this: what about on the appraisal side of that? Because I can get somebody to pay for a house, right? If I'm a listing agent, I'll find someone that wants to buy that house. The question is will the appraiser agree with me on the value?
Well, I think we have not had any appraisal issues on purchases in quite some time. On refinances, you don't ever know because there's no indicator on a refinance what the value should be. On a purchase, there is, because you have a purchase agreement and the appraiser has it. So he sees where you're at from a purchase price standpoint. And then if there's something, as you know, if you think the value's like we're pushing it a little bit, because this or that, I know your approach is always to be out there and I know that when you make an offer, you have comparable sales that justify what you're offering. So if it's a little bit higher, I know you'll have the data to give the appraiser if need be, but boy, we sure haven't run across it like we did for a little while. I mean, remember when we had appraisal issues, quite a few of them. We're not having that right now. I think everybody recognizes that home prices are going up, and you can see a trend line too of last year where we had a nice increase in home values, and so we haven't had any pushback on that, so has not been an issue.
So the momentum is definitely in the favor for increasing home prices, and it looks like we're not going to have a problem with finding them. So here's the deal: if you're thinking about selling the house, and you're looking to move out of town or move into a bigger home, and you've been hearing on the radio that and in the news that inventory is low and all of that, just call us. We'll sit down. We'll have a quiet conversation at your kitchen table. We'll talk about what your goals are, what you want to accomplish, and then see if it makes sense for you. We'll do an analysis on the property, see what it's going to sell for, see what you can get out of it, have a chat with Kelvin to see about financing the next place, and then go from there, and either it works or it doesn't work. So if you're looking for information about selling or buying a home, go to realestatechalktalk.com. And that's realestatechalktalk.com. You find all the resources that we have, everything that we've been talking about over the last 7 years. It's a one-place shop that you can get the information. Remember, we can't help you if you don't call 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. We'd be happy to help you in any way that we can. And that's all with no cost and absolutely no obligation. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week on Real Estate Chalk Talk.